Hi guys, welcome to NMAT. I have a question here that says that x to the power of 3 minus y to the power of 3 equal to xy plus 61, and we have to find the value of x and y. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is to expand x minus y to the power of 3. And why we are doing that is because when we expand this, we'll be able to have x to the power of 3 and minus y to the power of 3. Alright, so when we expand this, we're going to have x to the power of 3 minus 3 x to the power of 2 y plus 3 x y to the power of 2 minus y to the power of 3. Right, so here we have a negative y to the power of 3 and a positive y to the, x to the power of 3. So we have to remove this and this from the side of the equation to this other side of the equation. Alright, so when we do that, on this side of the equation, we already have x minus y to the power of 3. And when we move this over, it becomes positive 3 x squared y. And we move this one, it turns to negative 3 xy to the power of 2. Okay, now on this other side of the equation, now we are left with x to the power of 3 and minus y to the power of 3. So when we go back to the equation that we have already, that x to the power of 3 minus y to the power of 3 equal to this, then we can then say that this, which is x to the power of 3 minus y to the power of 3, we can replace it with what we have here, x to the power of xy plus 61. Alright, so let's continue. Now here we have x minus y to the power of 3. And over here we have, at these 2 points, we have 3 common. We also have y common to both places. We have x common to both places and y common to both places. So when we deduct that from the equation, we will have x remaining here minus y remaining at this other point. And that's equal to, now we're going to replace x to the power of 3 minus y to the power of 3 with xy plus 61, because that's what we have as our x to the power of 3 and y to the power of 3. Okay, so now we have xy in place of x to the power of 3 minus y to the power of 3 plus 61. Okay, now on this other side, if you look at it, we have x minus y here and we have x minus y at this other point. So x minus y is common to these 2 points, so I'm going to factor that out. So I'm going to write x minus y out, and then what will remain here will now be x minus y to the power of 2, since we have factored out 1. And what will be left at this point would be 3xy, since we factor out x minus y. And on this other side, we still have xy plus 61. Right, so let's continue on this side. Now I have to break this down. So let's factorize x minus y to the power of 3 or power of 2. Okay, so here we have x minus y. And here, when factor this out, we have x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. Alright, then we have this. So put that down, plus 3xy equal to xy plus 61. We still have that on the side of the equation. Okay, so here we have a negative 2xy and we have a positive 3. So this is like 3xy minus 2xy, and that becomes 1xy, right? Okay, so we have x minus y. And here we have x squared plus y squared plus 1xy to be equal to xy plus 61. Okay. So that's what we have. Now, what we now need to do here is we're going to say, if this point was equal to 1, then this equation will really look like this other equation, where we have this to be the same as this, and this would be the 61. All right, so we're going to make that analysis. Let's say let x minus y be equal to 1. Okay, so if x minus y equal to 1, then this place is going to be 1 times this. So what we now have at this point would be x squared plus y squared plus xy equals to xy plus 61. Now on both sides we have xy, so it cancels out, and we are left with x plus y equal to 61. So let's divide that by x squared plus y squared equals to 61. All right, so if we take this as equation 1, we're going to take this one as equation 2. Now let's work on that. Let's work on the two equations that we have. Now we have x minus y equal to 1 as equation 1. We have x squared plus y squared equals to 61 as equation 2. So from equation 1 here, we can have that x is equal to 1 plus y. All right, so we're going to substitute that into equation 2. So in place of x, we are going to write 1 plus y. So here would be 1 plus y, which is now x, but x has a power of 2, so I'm going to put that power of 2, plus we have y squared here equal to 61. Now we break this down, and it will have 1 plus 2y plus y squared. And then we have this other y squared here, and it's equal to 61. Now, here, I'm going to move 61 to this other side of the equation. So if I move it to the other side of the equation, we're going to have 1 minus 61. And then we have 2y, and then we also have 2 of this y squared. All right, so equal to 0. Now let's arrange this now. Now this would be 2y squared plus 2y, and this minus 60. Minus 60 equals to 0. Everything here is a product of 2, so we'll break that down by dividing through by 2. Okay, equal to 0. Now we have to factorize this. Now factorizing this, we're going to have y squared plus 6y minus 5y minus 30. When you break this down, we're going to have y plus 6, and we're going to have y minus 5 equals to 0. Okay, so therefore y equals to negative 6 and y equals to 5. Now with that, remember we said that x is equals to 1 plus y. Therefore, x then will be, when y is 6, we're going to have 1 plus minus 6, and that's equal to minus 5. And when y is equal to 5, we're going to have 1 plus 5, and then x will be equal to 6. All right, so the values that we have here would be, when x is minus 5, y is minus 6, and when x when x is 6, y is 5. So those are the two values of x and y. All right. So I hope that it's been useful. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.